Hello and welcome to my another ASSETTO Corsa video. Today we're going to talk about the AI in this game. So yeah, basically some new discoveries and new solutions for the AI, how to make it faster, how to make it slower. If you ever find yourself in a situation that you play on a difficulty that works for you, you always finish in top 3, top 5, maybe first, and there's some cars that are just ruining your races by being like 3 seconds faster than you, and yeah, you just can't do anything basically. So yeah, we come to some new discoveries, how to manipulate the AI, also to make the AI more friendly, more gentleman in a race, so they don't just pawn you that easily. So yeah, so we do have some presets here. We have slow preset, we have medium preset, we have optimized preset, and we have hard preset. This is for the cars that are like slow, that are really fast, that are OP, that like they shouldn't be. And then of course we have medium, that is for cars that are maybe slightly OP, and then optimized, that are for those that are just right, and maybe they just need some little tweaking to be more on gentleman-like on a track. And the hard preset is for the slower cars that are just 2 or 3 seconds slower than what they should be. Let's say you're running GT3s, and then from all the cars in the group you have certain cars that are just too slow. But you also have to have in mind how realistic this is. So let's say you're running a GT4 Gorilla mod, and you find maybe Ginetta GT4 slower than the others. Well, that's kind of normal. Ginetta GT4 is, let's say, slower than the others a little bit. But if you find some cars that do have the horsepower, like Ginetta has less horsepower and the shorter gear ratio. So yeah, on some tracks Ginetta is gonna be slower, but yeah, you need to have in mind how realistic it is. But if you have a car like Porsche that shouldn't really be, like Porsche should be one of the best, and then you find Porsche is doing not good, and yeah, then you might want to change that. Yeah, so yeah, you just have to first check how realistic it is. If it's not realistic, then you go and fix. That's something I would suggest. But yeah, it all comes down to personal preference. Then in the end, yeah, it's a bit complicated, I guess. But yeah, I always try to check how realistic it is, but sometimes even if it's not realistic, you have to do some compromises, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, we have 4 presets here, and yeah, the optimized one has everything explained, what each of these values is doing. So yeah, basically that is it. I'm not gonna explain too much what are they doing, but yeah, it's mostly video about these presets and some homologation tips. If you're gonna homologate the cars to feel like if you have a certain goal, like I don't think anybody's gonna use homologation if you want I don't know, like super realism, because I think those people are buying mods, they play paid mods that are already well balanced, and but let's say you're not buying mods and you want to homologate the cars to be more like more predictable, and you're going for more maybe SimCady style of driving, or you want to just have more consistent AI. Let's say you want to have more consistent AI. My advice would be, let's open this Porsche that was slower before but not anymore. So the first thing that you really want to homologate is the tires. You want to have these tires the same values on all the cars. You find some car that is really nice to race against, that is not too fast, is not too slow. It always drives nice around you. You just take his tires, his aero, and if he's in the class same as yours, you just take his aero, his tires, and that's basically it. Yeah, his aero, his tires should do it. If it has the, you know, depending on his drivetrain, is it rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, is it engine in the middle, you can also use his diff settings, which is here. These are diff settings. So yeah, you can basically use his diff settings also from a car that you like, but then, you know, there is the reality, how much realistic you want to have. So you need to, you know, maybe Google things like that, see, you know, how cars have it in reality. So yeah, it all depends, you know, what you want to do. But I would say tires and aero, you know, if you see like too many discrepancies between the cars, too much difference, you know, I would suggest tires and aero to be homologated in all the classes from the same cars, and that doesn't mean they're gonna drive the same. For example, I have these GT4s and they all have the same aero, but for example, Ginetta is completely different. Ginetta is way more oversteery than any of them, like a lot more oversteery. And there are also differences between them, you know. Some are more stable, some are less stable, you know. Even though they're using the same aero, it's not really the same car. So yeah, there are differences in differential and some other stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to differential, it would be kind of lame that all cars have the same. So you go for the realism and try to make some small compromises if you really have to. But I would mostly rely on AI to make them slower and faster. And if you really have to, if the car is really OP and you can't balance it with the AI, then just go to aero. Doesn't matter which preset you use for the aero, from which car you go to the front, and you just put this to either 6, or that if 6 not enough, you put it on 8 in front and you put the back on 20 or something, 22, and that's basically it. But that is really extreme. If the car is really driving you crazy, you know, it's really too fast and it shouldn't be, and that's what you're gonna do. Oh yeah, also what I noticed, this one is a bit controversial, but yeah, if you're a gamepad user, you don't really care about this, but so there is also one setting that really affects how the cars is gonna be fast. Actually, two. I forgot about the brakes. Great. So yeah, the brakes. Also, if you find a car that is too fast or too slow, check that car, drive that car, check the brakes. If the brakes are too weak, improve them. If the brakes are too hard, too strong, nerf them. So yeah, like for the cars below 300 horsepower, don't go like higher than 3000 brakes. 2.8, 2.5 should be enough. On some cars, maybe even 2.2, but that's rarely. Then stronger cars like this that are like over 400 horsepower, it's normal to have brakes over 3000, 4000, depends on the car. Especially this is a race car, so yeah. But yeah, you know, you have to, I would always suggest test the brakes before you go crazy with these settings. And yeah, that's all the things that are, let's say, normal, you know. Now we're gonna come to controversial one. Like I said, if you play on a gamepad, you don't really care about this one, but eventually if you're gonna upgrade to wheel, it's good to know. This is a bit controversial discovery that I have discovered. Discovery that I discovered, okay. Okay, let's open. I don't know which car is that. That's a Porsche. Okay. I mean, we can use any car. So there is force feedback multiplier. So this is basically, I'm not even really sure what that is. This is not force feedback directly from the game that you set up. This is some kind of multiplier, I'm not sure. The higher this is, the stronger the AI is gonna get. And you can play around with this. If you don't have a wheel, it's kind of problem to balance this. So what you can do, even though you don't have a wheel, it would be advisable to go to the game. Even though if you don't have a wheel, you should be able to open. I'm just gonna open it quickly. And you should do this in old launcher the first time, because from content manager sometimes it doesn't save. Yeah, for the gamepad users, you don't have any other reason to do this other than affect the difficulty a little bit. I need to. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Oh, wrong one. What did I do? Force feedback gain. Yeah, you want to, on all the cars, and this is a tedious work. I haven't done them all, but it would be advisable that it's a 90%. On default it's 100. So yeah, trust me, it affects both. If you would be driving on a wheel, it affects you, and it affects the AI. But if you don't want to do that, it's totally fine. It's a minor thing. But if you don't need to do this to all the cars, just those that are giving you the trouble, you can put that on 90. But also what you can do, and what is advisable to do, to go here, and this multiplier, if this multiplier is high, like over 2.0, like 2.3 or higher, just put this to 1.4 or 1.2. For now it's 1.3. So yeah, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. Yeah, if it's over 2, it's not good. If you're on a gamepad, you're not gonna feel anything, but if you're on a wheel, you're gonna feel it. The lower this is, the less you're gonna feel it on a wheel. So if you get a wheel one day, it's not a problem, honestly. You can adjust this easily. Just open the same app I did and do one lap on any circuit. Just one lap is enough. It doesn't have to be hot lap. You just need to do one lap. The first lap is gonna count, and after you do the first lap, it's gonna automatically set up this multiplier in terms of how you drove. So it's gonna be even more precise than what Mother did. Mother was probably either using his own wheel or he used the controller. So yeah, maybe with the controller, it's, if a Mother doesn't have a wheel, he's using it with a controller. Maybe I don't know, I never tried to set up that with the controller, but I did try it once with the wheel, and it did a great job. It was better than what was the other version, because we don't have the same wheels. Even some people have better wheels, some have lower quality wheels. I don't have even a DD wheel, so somebody has a DD wheel, for him it's gonna be what is great for him, it's bad for me, and what is great for me, it's bad for him. So so yeah, if you play on the wheel, I would suggest play around also with this. It will nerf or buff the AI, but it will also make the feel on the wheel more natural for you. It's not the same for everybody, because we don't have the same wheels. So yeah, and that would be all. I think I covered everything. I just want to show you now the difference between the presets, between the original Kunos preset and my optimized preset. But yeah, this force feedback multiplier is really controversial, and I discovered that, of course, by accident when I increased it, because I wanted more feel, and then all of a sudden the cars got faster. And I also noticed with the other ones it happened the same. So yeah. I'm gonna use the old launcher because it just, for me, it's so much more natural than content manager. Like in content manager, replays are all over the place. In here there is nice order, and yeah, I just prefer the old launcher. Just me being weird. So I hope the video helped you. If you watched this far, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. So yeah, I hope this helps you. If you have these issues with the car, I do, honestly, you know. Quite often I get a car that is just too fast, rarely too slow, but yeah, too fast definitely. So yeah, this is, I was doing the championship with the Kunos. I still didn't change it. I didn't want it to change. I wanted to see if I can do with the wheel this championship and win all the races, and I could, but I had some races that was, you know, I had some close calls, and it wasn't that relaxed, you know. I want the more simcade experience. It's totally fine if you don't want to, but still, you know, at least if you want to have a faster AI, you can just use my fast preset. So yeah. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, let's go to the beginning of the race. Yeah, here. Went ahead of me. So yeah, in here you will see difference between original coolness. This is now original coolness preset. Yeah, see, so this white car wanted to connect with this red car in the front, and that's why I had this instance, because they want to be more dense, which I didn't allow, and yeah, incident happened almost. Yeah, see the red car? It's not gonna allow me to do anything. Yeah, he's really holding his line. He's not gonna allow me to do much. Okay, now we're gonna have same situation. Okay, we finished here, and this is the new preset. So this is optimized preset now. I think I also forgot to tell you about the hard preset that I have if the AI is too slow. I'll just cover that one a little bit more so you get the picture. Okay, so this is now optimized. This is my optimized preset. Still the AI a little bit, but see this car in the end is the car. Yeah, let's just go a little bit back. So let's see this car. He's not trying to connect with this red one in front anymore. He's not trying to connect with him. So that's the difference. So they're less dense and I have more room to overtake. And see now this red car in front of me. Observe this car. He's still holding his line kinda, but look, he made a small mistake and I overtook him. So they're gonna make more mistake, and now observe this car. So they're not really driving like train anymore. They're not trying to connect at any cost with the car in front. Look at that. He saw me, I'm going in, and he left. He let me pass. I messed up, it's on me. But yeah, he let me pass in there, so that's the difference. Maybe to some of you this is gonna be like bad, maybe it's gonna be like the AI is too forgiving, but for me this works. So yeah, it's hard to please everyone. I don't know what to tell you, it's hard to please everyone, but yeah, this is how it is, how I prefer. If there are any of you out there that would like to have an AI more like this, then the optimized preset is for you. What can I say? You can play around with the numbers and try to perfect it. Maybe there is also some room for improvement. Maybe they can be and they do have this. I'm not gonna go back now. I forgot the lap times. They have identical lap times almost. Like the difference is so small. Like it was 2/10. 2/10 in the second lap. The first lap was inside of 1 second. The second lap was 2/10 different, and the last 3 laps were also varying half a second, not even a second. So yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back now and and show you that. But yeah, I think the most important thing you saw, and like I said, lap times are consistent. So yeah, I forgot to mention, so this is optimized, and yeah, this is more like gentlemen, they're gonna be driving more like gentlemen if the AI is already good. If you're satisfied with these cars, I was satisfied pretty much with those radicals. They were quite nice to drive and everything. But let's say you have, if you have too fast and you're just gonna use slow preset or medium preset. But if you have a car that is slow, you're gonna be using a hard preset just to make it even faster. If you find this maybe not enough, you can just play around with this one, or maybe even this one you're gonna put all the way up, but not even Kunos did put that all the way to 1.0, so maybe you should just lower this to 220. You can see in Kunos what the original values are, so you can just maybe revert some of these to original, and then you're gonna have still the same, but I would still keep the gas gain, because gas gain is doing two things. It makes the AI more like gentlemen, but I think they're also faster a little bit because they're taking the corners more smooth. So yeah, also this is making them faster. So I would just play around with this, maybe lower this one, put these two higher a little bit. This one also, put this one higher if you want even harder, if you want even stronger AI, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, just basically one value, these two values. Yeah, speed gain, you can also go maybe 1.5 also if you really want to make the AI strong. So yeah, that's basically it. Not much you have in here, but this should make it like just this made my Porsche faster for 3 seconds. Just these settings. And I nerfed gas gain, is nerfed even, and it made still Porsche faster. The only thing that is higher than before is this one a little bit, this one a little bit is faster than before. These ones are faster. Speed gain is actually lower, so I even lowered some things and I still was able to improve the Porsche's lap times. So yeah, steer gain is lower than before. So yeah, you can always just post a question under the video and ask if you need some help. I can help you with some cars if you want to. If you need help, it's not a problem. But yeah, this is basically it. We covered everything. So yeah, it's basically it. We have these 4 presets that you can use, nice and easy. And like I said, if you have a certain championships, you want to do some homologation. Like I was also testing Kuno's cars. I heard from people, Formula One cars, they go out of track, and I took that for granted. But I tested myself. We can do it now, but I'm not gonna do it. You can do it for yourself. Just test Kuno's cars, Kuno's Formula One cars. Just test them in the game. Give them 100% difficulty and 80% aggression. They're not crashing in Monza. I only hear modded cars are crashing in Monza. Kuno's cars, they don't even crash. Why is that? Well, mostly diff, in my opinion. Diff, drivetrain, something is just wrong with the cars. Also stalling. The cars stalling. I don't have much of a problem at all with the cars stalling. I did have with one mod and I fixed it. I don't even remember how. Yeah, stalling. I do remember that I changed some things with the power loot. So basically, when it comes to stalling, if you have certain cars that you're just gonna overtake half of the grid in the straight line when the race starts, it's either the diff, but it's probably not even the diff. It probably has to do something with power loot. So my advice is do the engine swap on that car. Find a similar car and just do the engine swap just as a test. It doesn't have to be realistic. Just do the engine swap and a drivetrain swap if you need to, because not all drivetrains works with all the engines. And then just play around with that and you're gonna fix it for sure. I only had one car. Or one group actually. I had one group of the cars. It was GT 500 or 300 Japanese. I can't remember. They were slow as hell on the start, but I fixed them. They're still not the fastest, but it's realistic because those cars back in the day they didn't have that much fast start. So it's better than what it was, but it's still slower. But it's realistic. So yeah, it's. Yeah, so I think now we covered everything. A lot of people think it's AI in Assetto Corsa, but you can't blame AI for everything with so many mods. For a lot of things, the mods are at fault. If you just check the OG cars that you have in the game and you just put them in conditions, you'll see that they work. Just put the AI to drive. You don't even have to drive. Just press Ctrl and C and just let them drive on their own, and you'll see that original Assetto Corsa AI can handle quite a lot of aggression in that Monza first turn. Quite a lot. I tried 80% with Formula 1 and they didn't crash. The newer version, the F1 2004, they still passed the first chicane, but then afterwards some of them would go off track. But that is probably diff. From Kunos. And not even Kunos can make it perfect, but their cars are pretty good. Yeah, so not all of them, but. I mean, in that term, how they behave as AI, they're pretty good, but they do have some other indiscrepancies, like the horsepower and stuff on some cars is not really accurate. But for me, that's kind of not good, but yeah, it is what it is. But in general, they behave good on the track, yeah. So yeah, that covers basically it. So yeah, if you have a problem with the AI, ask yourself, is it a Kunos car, is it modded car? If it's modded car, then yeah, you have to watch my video and think about the things that I said. What can you do, But yeah, it's basically it. I think I covered everything. So yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.